Welcome back to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. I'm Cody Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris Becker. We're rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo. But before we dive into the discussion about what we're looking forward to, which is the opposite of rewinding or recapping anything, before we dive into the discussion of what we're looking forward to with this Switch 2 Direct that's happening in a week, Christopher, how are you doing, my good friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Marvelous. Felt good. Turns out what was I?
What were you? What could you possibly be?
Sick.
Oh, you were sick.
I was sick this week. I even took a nap at one point. Maybe Sunday I took a nap, maybe. I think I took a nap on Sunday. I think that's when I took it.
That's when you took the sickness or when you took the nap?
When I took the nap, well, I think it was like a few days ahead of this that I was like, I don't feel very good. And then finally on Sunday, I was like, I'm going to take a nap, see if that helps. And then after the nap didn't help, then I went and got some Dayquil, I think. I think that's how it worked.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're sick, buddy. Are you still sick or were sick? Past tense sick.
It was an old sickness.
It was an old sickness? Sierra's telling us Saturday in the live chat.
Okay, so Saturday I was sleeping. Okay, so
How does my sister know you're napping?
I don't know. No. Because we were in the middle of talking, I think I told her, I was like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. And then I just didn't reply to her for an hour. So she thought, sir, have you died? And, first, you know what? I got all cleared up. I'm feeling better now.
That's a good thing.
But there's something I want to ask you. But before I do,
okay,
I'm gonna ask you. How are you doing?
Doing okay. I'm doing okay. I've been having like an off week, off weekend. Not even an off week, just an off weekend. Like it really started kind of yesterday, where I was like, I don't have any energy to do anything for anybody. So like, it's been pretty much that for the past 3 days. But no, like I'm feeling pretty okay right now. I'm excited because we're coming up on the last week of Mario Mania month over on my channel, which means that I'm getting close to I'm not even getting close to some of my favorite games. I'm playing some of my favorite games this week whenever I go live again, which will be tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, playing through Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I really love Super Mario Bros. Wonder. If you couldn't tell from last week's episode where we tried to rank it, and I was like, I need this in the top 10, and you were like, absolutely not. And I was like, okay, fine. But
Didn't it end up there?
I don't know. Did we put Wonder up? Yes, we did. I ended up having to make a sacrifice of putting Metroid Dread not in the top 10 and putting that in the top 10 because I had to make my choice. But Super Mario Bros. Wonder is scheduled for this week. I've got Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3. A lot of really, really cool games. A lot of good games, in my opinion. Good Mario games. Some of the best Mario games. But you know, hey, we're kind of nearing the end, and then I've got a whole bunch of really bad Mario games that I'm gonna have to play in the coming month. Hotel Mario. Mario teaches typing. Mario's missing.
You're finally getting into the good ones.
Oh my god.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint wasn't on there this year. I saved that for next year because I actually want to do it on like real hardware if I can possibly do that. I think it'd be really cool to like use the Super Nintendo mouse.
Yeah. I learned something new this week.
Hit me with it.
And I want to know if you knew this.
Okay.
So watched a movie about the jeez Louise. What was that noise?
What noise?
Did you just make a noise?
I didn't hear any noises. I didn't make any noises.
Oh, I thought I heard a noise. Maybe it was just your typing.
Oh, it could have been. I was typing.
Your feverish typing. But
I don't even need Mario to teach me to type. I'm good.
okay, so here's what he's losing it. Netis, please. It's the circumcision. But
it is. It's the circumcision. We're gonna need to make a circumcision emote. I don't know how we do that with it passing the Twitch guidelines, but we need it. We need it.
Yeah. I don't know that we need it. Okay, so all that to say, I was watching a movie about the Catholic Church. I learned a lot about the Catholic Church. One thing I learned, okay, I always thought
the happy dog emote in the chat.
Oh, there you go. I thought you could only say bless you if someone sneezed. I thought that was the only reason you would say bless you.
What?
I didn't know. Now hold on. Did you know this? Is this something you knew?
Yes, but I grew up in the Bible Belt. Like, come on, like it's like ingrained here. I know you're from the north, but you're not that much further north.
Well, I just thought that you could only say, bless you, or you only needed to say it. Like the only reason you would say it is because somebody sneezed. There was no other reason to say it. But did you know that you could do that?
Yeah, I mean, but I hardly ever like. Here's the thing: have you not? Okay, so we've had a longtime mutual friend. Her name's Silent Brooke. She occasionally shows up in the chat here, but like Brooksy always says, bless your heart. Right? Like, but most of the time it's fairly sarcastic when it comes from her, but and in most cases in the South that is said, oh, bless his heart, because he's stupid or because he's ugly or because he's dumb, that's like, it is most of the time an insult, but you can actually like just say, well, bless you. I hope blessings come your way. How are you just now figuring this out?
I didn't know it was a thing because there were these two cardinals. I don't know if you know what a cardinal is.
Yeah, they're an upper level Catholic. They're like a level 17 Catholic. I understand.
Yeah, they were working on a. Thank you, Sierra. Sierra said, "Bless you." Thank you, Cody. Bless you.
Thank you.
The thing is, I didn't know that you could say it. I don't think Sierra got to watch much of that movie because half of the movie was just me asking her questions about the Catholic Church. I had no idea.
Listen, Commodore Zed in the live chat here, he grew up very Catholic. So like you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. We can't be insulting them.
I'm not insulting them.
They're out there. You're just learning about them. You're just learning about them, right?
What? Yeah. It was just in the movie. They were voting. They were voting on a new pope.
Yeah. He says, "LOL, take all the swings you want." Oh man, Susie? What do you mean this is only like the third most blasphemous conversation on this channel? I need to know like a tier list from Susie where the tiers are. Like what was number 2 and number 1 most blasphemous conversation on this channel? I need to know it. I don't know, unless it was the circumcision discussion or the wiggly nipples discussion. That's the only...
The what?
When you said your nipples, anyway. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm learning. You brought them up. I just reiterating what you said. Not today, you didn't, but my God.
Listen. Also, can I just? Okay. You know what? It's not my place.
You can just. What do you need? What do you need?
No, I can't.
What do you need to just?
I can't. Here's what I just. Okay, I'm gonna just say it.
Say it.
I need to find the Star Crunch ice cream bars. I can't find them. I got the Eggo ice creams, but I don't have the Star Crunch.
For some reason, I feel like that would be like one of the easiest things to recreate. Isn't it just 2 Star Crunches between like ice, like on the sides of ice cream?
It's not an ice cream sandwich. It's like You get a little.
Oh, it's the
wooden
actual ice
stick
cream. It's
on
not
a
the sandwich.
stick.
It's popsicle.
It's not a popsicle.
What are you called? If it's on a stick, on a popsicle stick, it's a popsicle.
Bar. It's not a popsicle.
That wouldn't be
It's
an ice cream bar. No. Hang on. Let me. We're going to Google.
I'm telling you. Google
What is the definition of
send a picture and we'll
ice
put it on the
cream
stream.
bar? What is the definition of an ice cream bar? An ice
I
cream
have one
bar
right here. Send a text.
is a frozen
and I'll put
dessert,
it on
typically
the
a
stream.
rectangular block of ice cream, often coated with chocolate. Oh, it is served on a stick. Okay, I'm wrong. I can be wrong.
I told you it was ice cream on a stick.
Look,
it was an ice cream
and
bar.
I can openly admit when I'm wrong. I've done it many times on this show. Star Crunch is your favorite crappy snack cake, Susie? That is not a popsicle? Listen, often wrong. I'm okay with that too. I can often be wrong. You can't have two people be right all the time on the same show. That would be no fun.
That's true.
I always just assumed it was, if it's served on a popsicle stick, it is a popsicle though.
Well, just send a photo of the stick. I'll send it to him, and then that way he can know what the stick looks like.
Star Crunch popsicle. Let me
wait,
look this
you know
up.
what? Hold on.
It is an ice cream bar. It is considered an ice cream bar. It's on the box as an ice cream bar. Hang on a second. Let me go over to this. You guys are getting a little preview of what we're getting ready to talk about tonight. But let me take this off and this. So this is an ice cream bar. Star Crunch ice cream bar. Does it look okay? Is that like a caramel flavored ice cream? Yeah, it's a caramel flavored ice cream with a caramel ribbon and crispy bits dipped in milk chocolate.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be inferior to an actual Star Crunch. I might be wrong.
I just want to say I've heard through the grapevine that they're delicious.
I'm being told I'm right. Like, it's just going to be inferior to an actual Star Crunch. I want a Star Crunch. Thank you guys for the ambigifying bits, by the way. Kiatic and Commodore said.
I've been microwaving Star Crunch.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. I don't know if that was what we should have been doing.
What do you mean? What else are we going to do?
There were plenty of other things. That we should have been doing. Like ranking the video games, because it took us 2 hours and 45 minutes to make it through that list of every video game.
Oh, that's true. Well,
God.
Yeah.
That was awful last week. That was probably my least favorite show we've ever done. And I played through Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for, 8 or 9 hours.
Have you ever seen like a little can of sausages?
Like a Vienna sausage?
Yeah. Have you ever had that?
Yeah, and I don't like them at all. Like, they're awful. It's just like soft meat that's been jammed in a pickling brine of some sort. It's disgusting.
Listen.
Do you like them?
Do I like them?
Yeah.
Please don't even ask.
Well,
I don't want to talk about it.
Growing up, no, listen, we need to talk about it, because growing up, my sister's favorite snack, we would go over to my grandparents' house, okay? My grandparents on my mother's side. Shout out Mama Ruby.
Shout out to Ruby.
We would go over there, and my grandma and grandfather always had like Vienna sausages or beanie weenies, as they called them, or potted meat, and that was like some of the most favorite things my sister could eat when she would go over there. She loved eating that, and I was like, "This is disgusting. Why?" Ask her. Ask her next time.
No, I'm not going to ask her about this.
Why? Next time you guys are sitting down to watch Blackbird or whatever it is you're watching on Apple TV, you ask her about potted meat.
I'm not going to
First
talk
off,
about potted...
anytime anyone actually puts meat into a pot and then describes it as such, that's awful. Like, why? Like, I understand the appeal of Spam, right? Like, it is definitely a preserved meat of sorts, but Spam is actually somewhat good if prepared correctly. But potted meat, you don't prepare it. You just spoon it out of the can and eat it. It's like soft bologna.
Wait, Yeah. Well, the reason I'm not going to talk about her with these is because she's already sent me multiple photos of both of these things that we're talking about right now. It just completely.
Hold on, is she still eating these things today? Is this by choice, Sierra? Listen, you're in the live chat. I need to know. Also, Chris, you've been asked to pronounce something. Can you pronounce that word that Sierra put up in the live chat there? Let's hear it.
She's trying to do me dirty right now.
Let's hear it.
But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's Appalachian.
You have potted meat in the pantry, Nedist? It is Appalachian. You're correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
So if you don't put the N on, how do you pronounce it?
If I don't put the what?
If you don't have the N at the end of that word, Appalachian, how do you pronounce it?
What do you mean? Appalachia?
Mm-mm.
What are you talking about?
It's Appalachia.
No.
That's how it's pronounced.
Incorrect.
No, it's Appalachia. Not sh. Bro, I live here. I know how to say it. No, you don't, Nedist. You're too far north. Actually, how close to Kentucky are you? That's the real question. Could we have a meetup? Can I meet this Nedist in real life? That's what I want to know. It's just different regionally. You're in the mountains? That doesn't tell me anything. I am in the mountains. No. Why are you yelling no, Sierra? Why is she yelling no?
I don't know. I have no idea. She's just shouting no.
She is shouting no over and over again. Are you okay? Cody's wrong. No, I'm not. It's Appalachia. It's pronounced that way. She doesn't want to make me understandable. Don't take it personally. Everyone should be thankful if they get a chance to meet Nedist. And speaking of thankful, let's go ahead and thank our lovely supporters over on NintendoRewind.com. If you would like to directly support our content, guide what we're discussing, and get exclusive videos that won't be uploaded to our YouTube channel, you can sign up to become a member over there. Plus, you get merch discounts, and every dollar spent on our merch helps us to produce this show. There's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you get a shout out. That said, I want to thank our members, Calamity Nolan, Sierra Christian, and Shiny Bird for all of their gracious support. Now, we're going to get back to the show, kind of, sort of. Do the thing. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
Here's the thing.
Tell us the thing. What's the thing?
Here's the thing. I will say the reason that the Appalachian came up is because I said I'll just say I was on the phone with your sister and I said Appalachian Mountains, and she wasn't having
It's Appalachian Mountains. It is the Appalachian Mountains, but it's Appalachia. Some people around here say Appalachia. That's wrong.
People, my brain, please.
Hilly Billy says Commodore Zed. Oh,
Mrs.
man.
Nerd wants me to pronounce it. It's just going to be an episode of me pronouncing words.
Can you pronounce this word, please? Come on, pronounce it.
What? Louisville?
Hey, you did it right. See?
Louisville?
No, you did it right the first time. It's Louisville. Louisville.
No, it's not. What is it then?
Listen, some of these people in the South, I don't know. First off, we're supposed to be talking about Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.
Wait, that isn't the right. How?
Louisville. I can't even get it. Why are you saying it like you've got a mouthful of Vienna sausage? Maini sausages. Oh man. Well, listen,
Wait,
we've got
It's Louisville.
Louisville.
It's Louisville. Is
Louisville. They're writing it wrong. It's Louisville.
It's Louisville.
A lot of people would probably pronounce it as Louisville, but
Louisville.
look at them. This chat is ridiculous, and it's revolting on us for our pronunciation of like proper places that have like actual titles. Well, it's just like we've got Versailles, Kentucky. We've got Versailles, Kentucky, when it's supposed to be Versailles.
Yeah.
But yet we pronounce every letter in Versailles pretty much, but we choose not to pronounce the letters in Louisville. And that is very clearly Louis. Nobody has ever said Louisville. Oh, that's
Louisville?
Belafonte.
Oh no, I think it might be Louisville.
Is that North Versailles, Pennsylvania, or North Versailles, Pennsylvania? There, Susie. Raise your hand if you're from Kentucky. Oh man, we got yes on both of that. All right, so
Well, then, wait, Louisville?
Louisville.
I'm not Wait, what? You're adding it more letters than what they're writing.
I agree, Commodore Zed. That's Hurricane. What is this whole channel? We don't even get to talk about Nintendo stuff because half the time Nintendo doesn't talk about anything either. So like, we're here filling airtime. It's not Hurricane, West Virginia. It's Hurricane. Tell me about Mario, says Susie. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys. So there are a couple of things here that we do have to look forward to. In some ways, one of those, right? One of those things is the Switch 2 Direct. We are exactly 1 week, 7 days. Next Wednesday is when it's happening. We are 1 week away from hitting the Switch 2 Direct, and I'm super stoked for it because we may actually have something to talk about. Just to let everybody know, we are not going to have a normal show next week because of the Switch 2 Direct. You ignore the chat. We're not talking to you guys. Stop talking to us. But we have no, we don't ever have a normal show anymore. But we are going to be doing a Switch 2 Direct video where we watch the Switch 2 Direct together live, and then we're going to react to it. It'll be uploaded on our YouTube channel. That's where you'll be able to catch next week's show. We won't have a regular show this upcoming Monday. That being said, or this upcoming Tuesday rather, there is rumor going around, and Chris, I'm just going to let you tell everybody about the rumor because I don't know that I believe it, and I need you to convince me about this rumor. Why should I think it's real?
You mean the Nintendo Direct being announced in the morning?
Yes.
Well, there's a Nintendo Direct focusing on the Switch 1. And yeah, it is going to there's all sorts of things that are rumored to be there, but yeah, there will be a Nintendo Switch 1 Direct on Thursday, and then next week the Switch 2
you're saying
Direct.
Thursday? I thought we were saying Wednesday.
Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, no. It's going to be announced tomorrow for Thursday.
So less than a week after is the Switch 2 Direct. Not even a full week, like 5 days later, there's a Switch 2 Direct. Wait, why? In what world? It doesn't make any sense to me. Tomorrow is not a Monday, at least. That's right, Kiatic. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would they do it? Why would they do it?
Why?
Yes, why?
Well, there's plenty of reasons why. They could, for one thing, they have 0 upcoming Nintendo Switch games coming out. number two,
But that's not a good reason why they would do a direct if they don't have anything coming.
well, they're going to after the direct. Yeah, they're going to have things coming that we know of. I mean, they already do, whether or not they announce them. Yeah. So, okay. So you're on team no Nintendo Direct this week.
I know the chatter's been pretty very convinced. But a big reason that I'm not like super convinced is just the timeliness, the timeline of it. It doesn't make the most sense whenever it comes to what they're planning. I think whenever I was putting together notes today, on what we're going to be talking about with the Nintendo Switch 2, I did see an article that was like, hey, rumor, Switch 1 Direct presentation this week. There were two things that were said on it. The first thing was there's a Reddit post that had been collected, and they'd put together some of the news from a couple of Chinese forums that were going around. One forum poster who had previously leaked nearly the entirety of the June Direct from 2024 had said, we'll see an NS1 Direct meeting in 3 days, which at the time of posting lined up with Wednesday, right? So maybe not Thursday, but definitely looking at Wednesday. And then there was a follow-up on whether the user was alluding to Nindai, which is Nindai, which is a shortened version of the Nintendo Direct that they use in Japan. Nin Spider, which is they are one of the Family Boards posters, followed that comment with a winking emoji to add fuel to the fire. I don't know who this Nin Spider person is. But I mean, you might, I don't. But then there was a Blue Sky user named Stealth that posted a statement stating that Nintendo made the right move in avoiding any further direct presentations before its big Switch 2 showcase. VGC editor Andy Robinson quoted this with a simple thinking emote. And it's prompted a lot of users to say, hey, Robinson may know something about a potential direct. I'm still not confident because there's not enough there from mind you, yes, there are two reliable sources. This Nin Spider person, which I didn't even know about, I suppose is fairly reliable, but the Chinese forum poster who leaked the direct from the June Direct 2 years ago. But they haven't had anything. Well, that you'd mentioned that to me during the pre-show. Nate the Hate said this, but what did Nate the Hate say? Did he post this on Twitter or something?
Yeah, on Twitter he said to stop the constant questions. Yes, I've heard there's a Nintendo presentation this week. I believe it is on / around Thursday. It'll be a direct. I'm not 100% certain on the format at present. So if he says he's not 100% certain, it could just not be announced and then just drop. They've done those before, like the mini presentations, like a mini direct.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one step above just announcing everything on Twitter, you know. But yeah, so Nintendo Direct this week, I believe it. I believe. You're not sold.
I'm not. And I need to know what chat thinks. Direct this week? I'm going to put up a poll. Yes? No. We'll run it for 3 minutes. Direct this week for Switch 1. It's just I have questions about what they could possibly be talking about, what they would even want to tease that, because I mean they can't possibly have much loaded up. How many games? Okay. So from the Wii U, right? So from the Wii U to Switch, Nintendo published games. How many games came out?
Pardon? From the Wii U?
Yeah, from the Wii U to the Switch. And I know that is comparing like freaking corn to apples, you know, like, but it in a lot of ways, like you do kind of look at Nintendo. They don't necessarily always follow a process, but there are certain processes that they do follow. We had Breath of the Wild, and that was pretty much the only Nintendo produced game that came out post the Switch coming out.
No. Well, on the Wii U, but
Yeah.
not the 3DS. I mean, they still had games coming out in 2019.
Right, but the 3DS was a totally different development company at that point. Like, not truly a development
Nintendo.
company, but a totally different team. Before they aligned their teams together to be like one in-house, like, this is what we've got going on. We're all working on the Nintendo Switch stuff. So do you think they're just working on stuff like they have a Switch 1 development team and then Switch 2 development team essentially is the way that they're approaching that at that point?
No, I think it's just whatever game you're working on. I mean, these games, I mean, some of the games, if you look at like the last time it was updated before the game comes out, you would see like some of the games that come out, they're like done and the update's published and ready like a year before the game even comes out. So it's like on the files, like the last date that they were updated.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like updated, like they're finishing these games a year in advance. So that would make sense that they finished games that for the Switch. Also, yeah, like Netta said, Silk Song is coming out this week too. So
Hey, what was that news
gonna
piece
be
that
during
you,
that
that
direct.
you mentioned to me? They updated what?
So the Steam database. So they updated the Steam backend for Hollow Knight Silk Song. They updated the release date. I believe it was 2019, and then updated to 2025. And then they added a couple of images to the backend and no new images. And also opted into GeForce Now.
That's what I see here. So there have been several updates to the game's Steam listing seen here via the Steam database. Waiting for it to pop up. So this change was change legal lines. Hollow Knight is copyright Team Cherry from 2019 to 2025. They changed the timestamp assets from 23rd September 2023 to 24th March 2025.
It's like the same images, so they could just be better quality images.
Changed store categories. They added cloud gaming, NVIDIA, and family sharing.
Yeah, and they opted into GeForce Now.
This does look like it is a higher resolution header banner on there. But I mean, everyone was talking about that, but literally, you know, the 13th of March, the 11th of March, the 26th of February, like, there have been Steam database updates within the last 2 weeks. This is just like, everybody's kind of getting excited about some of these other things getting added when, like, they added family sharing a month ago, you know?
They added, yeah, what, right, but they opted in on GeForce Now.
Yeah, the GeForce Now is the big piece that I think kind of changes things. It makes people kind of consider that. Noticed I didn't know any of that. I was just making a Silk Song joke. No, listen, the Silk Song cope train is like going hard for everybody. Like, this happened this week. It's kind of crazy. One of the articles here comes from PC Gamer, says usually this would be a complete non-event, but given it's Silk Song, game fans have been waiting for a morsel of news on this for over 6 years. It's a big day, sort of, if you squint at it, right?
Right, especially because that happened right after rumors started spinning that there would be a direct this week. And so if they have the final Switch 1 direct and they shadow drop Silk Song.
There's no way
I'm excited to
in
play
heck.
Silk Song on Thursday. I don't know about you.
I don't believe that's gonna happen.
It'll be on Game
not for a
Pass day
second.
one.
Not for a second. But here's the thing. There's a part of me that absolutely does not believe Nintendo will get the Silk Song reveal. Now, granted, like Hollow Knight, the reveal of like the full on like here's the release date, here's gameplay, more gameplay. Like I don't think Nintendo will get that. You know, back in the Hollow Knight days when Team Cherry was still kind of smaller, before Hollow Knight blew up the way that it did. You know, I think they would have been happy to kind of get on anyone's direct. You know, like anyone's presentation, whether it be Xbox, Nintendo, whatever. But they've blown up, and there's this crazy chaos level of everybody's thirsting and dying for anything Silksong, that I think they kind of have the pick of the litter where they want to land. The flip side of it is if it is going to be a Game Pass game day one, do you think it's going to be a Game Pass game day one?
It was already announced as a Game Pass day one game.
Okay. Thank you for following on that, because I did not follow that. Thank you.
It was one of those things. It was announced during the 2022 Xbox showcase, and it was like
the terms have changed.
Everything here will be out in the next 12 months, and then it's now 2025. So that was 3 years ago, almost.
I almost legitimately do believe, though, that they would probably land on Xbox Showcase before they land on Nintendo's.
Yeah.
That's just my own personal take. I don't think that we'll see the first glimpses of Silksong with a confirmed release date on a Nintendo Direct. I think we'll see it on an Xbox Showcase. And that's me just trying to make sure everybody cries tonight. I want it. Don't get me wrong. I want it. I loved Hollow Knight. It was one of my favorite games from like the initial launch. Within the first 3 years of Nintendo Switch being out, essentially. I think it came out like 5 years ago on Switch, right? Hollow Knight release date.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah, so 6 years ago. So, no. Okay. And wait, yeah.
2018. Yeah.
Yep. So within the first year of Nintendo
12th,
Switch being out.
2018. So it's like, 15 months.
He does. He really does. But I don't think that we'll see it on Nintendo as much as I love that. We'll see it on an Xbox Showcase.
It'll absolutely be there. Tomorrow or Thursday.
We'll see. You just need to accept what I'm telling you is I don't think it's going to be. It would be really nice if it would.
Do you want to have a tickle bet?
What is a tickle bet?
Do you want to have a tickle bet?
Do you just tickle me if I'm wrong? Is that what this is? You'd have to come here to tickle me.
Whoever loses gets tickled for 30 seconds.
Oh, by the other person?
By the other person, yeah. Not just by a stranger.
You know what? Better yet, let's make it by a stranger. You make a tickle bet. You gotta go ask a stranger. You video it. You gotta go ask a stranger to tickle you.
God. Oh,
that's way worse. That's so much worse.
And so the bet. Wait, the bet. So it would be. You're saying it's going to be at Microsoft, and I'm saying it's going to be at Nintendo.
Yeah, and if it shows up at Nintendo first as the release trailer reveal date, whatever it might be, the loser, I would be the loser. I would have to go ask a stranger to tickle me somewhere.
So you're gonna ask people are gonna think it's some sort of weird.
Well, I know what tonight's nightmare will feature. Oh my gosh. But no, I don't know. Like I have a really hard time anticipating that they're gonna again, with the Silksong Fuel, with the Nate the Hate post and everything else, like it just doesn't make sense to me on why they would do a Switch 1 Direct literally 5 days out from doing the Switch 2 Direct. And I know. You mentioned during the pre-show that nobody else ever gets to see. It's just a you and me conversation. There are contractual obligations that they need to show these things by this time. And that's why we get things like partner showcases and indie world showcases, because those are the agreements that they've made with those partners and with those publishers. If we get anything, it will not be a direct, I don't think. It will be a partner showcase or an indie world showcase, which is a completely different world from a Nintendo Direct, in my opinion. In a totally different category. And I am more susceptible to believing that it's going to be a partner showcase or a indie world than I would believe that it's going to be a Nintendo Direct.
I mean, yeah, I could see it being one of those, but I mean, if he's saying it's a Nintendo Direct, I believe it's a Nintendo Direct.
What is Nate the Hate's? What is Nate the Hate's track record? Nate the Hate's track record for Nintendo reveals.
He's the one that said when that the Switch 2 was with the date it was gonna get announced, and no one believed him, and then it just came, and he was like, "Oh, and it's not going," and then they're gonna reveal games at a later date.
People are saying mixed track record, but he did confirm, did predict the reveal in March, so he did do that. Been confirmed by Nintendo's announcement of the Direct on April 2nd. That wasn't even in March. That was last month, wasn't it? And then
February?
I think it was February. Maybe January. Nate the Hate has also been correct about the timing and format of Nintendo Directs, indicating that he is aware of Nintendo upcoming events. Man, this Google AI, this is funny.
Google AI will tell you.
Yeah, they surely will. Unconfirmed or speculative predictions. While Nate the Hate has speculated about the Switch 2 library, including potential backwards compatibility, these details haven't been confirmed by Nintendo. It has been confirmed. Google, you're wrong. Nate the Hate has made predictions about specific games to coming to Switch 2, but these remain unconfirmed. I don't know if... I think they're saying he made predictions about specific games, but he didn't actually state that those are definitely coming to Switch 2. It was more of a, this is what I'm hoping for. Nate the Hate predicted that the Switch would be revealed on Thursday, 16th of January, which was not accurate. I think that was, wasn't it?
The Switch... Are they talking about the Switch 1?
The Switch 2 is what this Google thing says.
Yeah, it was accurate.
Yeah, it was accurate. What is this Google is drunk. But okay, so we do need to kind of take a step back though and think about what we actually legitimately believe is happening. So if a direct partner showcase, what have you happens, what do you expect to actually see there, Chris? Because I don't know. I legit don't even have a guess on what I would like to see there. I could tell you what I'd want, but I don't think we're getting it.
What do you want? Tell me.
Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
Metroid Prime 2 and 3?
Mm-hmm. I would like the remaster remake treatment that Metroid Prime 1 got before 4 comes out.
Okay, I could see. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. It'd be nice. It's not. I don't think it's ever happening. I think they did 1 and they're good.
I feel like they did 1 to get the team that because most of the team didn't work on it, so they got them. They're like, now make this, but the 4th one.
Yep.
You know?
Skip the other 2. I can tell you, I would like to see a re-release of Mario Galaxy 2 come to the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
We can play every other Mario game but Galaxy 2 on the Nintendo Switch. There's no reason for it. They need to fix that now.
I want to see what's up with that Nintendo Switch Online thing.
Oh, the playtest game that they did a few months ago?
Yeah. And yeah.
Is that playtest still going? How long was that playtest available for anyway? I haven't heard anybody talk about it since we did.
It was 5 or 6 weeks, I think.
God, it went on that long and no one talked about it after we talked about it hardly.
Right, yeah. Because I guess people that were talking about it were getting their Switch accounts banned, so they didn't want it. No one wanted their Switch account banned because then you lose all your digital games. So
our chat was very inconclusive on whether or not there was going to be a direct this week. By the way, I viewed the results on the poll, and nobody voted at all. They're like, I don't know, yes or no, undecided.
Very mysterious that group.
Ooh, Yoshi's Woolly World would be interesting because we do have Yoshi's Crafted World. Woolly World would be a good one to get brought over. I agree with that, Tindy.
Or even like a new game, like get a game that blends like Woolly World and Kirby's
Threaded Adventure. I couldn't remember what it was called. I was like, Threaded Adventure.
Yeah, imagine like Kirby just sucking up Yoshi and like getting the Yoshi powers.
They should just do that anyway. Like, they should have a crossover game between Kirby and Yoshi, period. Like, just
let Kirby ride Yoshi.
Yes.
And then just so that Yoshi doesn't fall, just can use the infinite jumps with Kirby while riding. Yeah, I'd be down for that. You can hit one button to suck up enemies while you're riding Yoshi, and then another one to eat them as Yoshi.
That'd be a cool team-up game. I'd be down for that as a team-up game. That'd be good. That would actually be really good, and it would fit so well.
And then, like, local multiplayer.
You know what? On that topic, why don't they just do a Super Nintendo Bros and just have, like, the Smash roster and a 2D platformer with everybody? You know, every Nintendo character.
Everybody's here.
Yeah, Super Nintendo Bros.
And what about what's it called? The long rumored Kirby or Kid Icarus Uprising.
Do you think that would actually ever come? I think it could.
I don't know.
But I don't. I just don't.
If Sakurai wanted it to come, they would make it for him.
I'm not surprised. I don't think he doesn't want it to come. How did that sell when it came out? Let's look at the game sales for it. Kid Icarus Uprising sold 1.36 million units. To compare that to Kid Icarus on the NES, it sold 1.76 million units. It didn't grow. It actually went down.
Right, and there were because Kid Icarus was a pretty early game, wasn't it?
89, 89, 86, 86. Yeah, Kid Icarus.
It was like right between Mario and Zelda, I think. Like it came out.
I guess there really wasn't a whole lot to play.
Right
so
around Zelda.
It's probably why it sold as many as it did.
Right.
What about Nintendo World Championships SNES edition? Think it's a possibility?
Well, they did a couple of the other ones, right? The mix, right? They did NES and
Ultimate
then
Remix.
SNES.
Yeah, NES Remix. I don't think they did SNES Remix, did they? They did NES.
Or they did
Remix
NES
series.
Remix
Ultimate.
Ultimate? Is that what it was?
It was Ultimate NES Remix, NES Remix Pack, and NES Remix 2, and NES Remix for the 3DS. Both of those were for 3DS 2 and NES Remix 1.
Okay, and then the one on Wii U was
the Ultimate.
3DS, like both of them together.
Yeah.
Or something like that, and new ones.
Yep. So I would really like to, honestly, I would prefer that over Nintendo World Championships. As excited as I was for that game and the fact that I did get the collector's edition for it, like, I would have preferred to have NES Remix because it was kind of like that game but mixed with WarioWare. You know what I mean? Like, way different concept. But good. Very good. What if they just brought Star Fox Zero to the Switch One?
With Labo support?
Yeah, with Labo support. Star Fox Zero, like, it didn't sell too well, and a lot of people didn't like it, but, you know, maybe if they had it on a better platform.
That's true.
It's kind of their thought process.
And if it came with, what's it called, too? What was
Star Fox Guard?
Guard, yeah.
I think is what that was called. Let me look. Star Fox Guard?
Slippy's uncle? right? You
Yeah,
played with?
yeah.
let's look
It was
it
Star
up.
Fox Guard, tower defense video game co-developed by Nintendo and Platinum Games, which is crazy to me. Platinum Games.
What if they bring back Odama? Like make an Odama 2. Would you be down for an Odama?
Why when I go Google Odama, it wants to show me Osama?
Well, type in Odama GameCube. That might help you.
Odama, was this a pinball game?
Yeah, it was a pinball game that used the
Yeah.
microphone.
I don't want a microphone used though. I don't want it like that. I'd rather control it normally. How did you control that? Did you just like yell into it and be like left bumper, right bumper?
No, so you played regular, but then you commanded the troops with the microphone.
Oh, okay.
So you were playing pinball, and then commanded the troops.
That is an interesting take on pinball. I think I'd be down for that. I don't think there would be a whole lot of people that would get excited about it. Here's one thing that we haven't gotten this generation that I think in a lot of ways is definitely something that we should have gotten by now.
Yeah, what's that?
Chibi Robo.
Oh yeah, TV Robo. I would take it.
Yep. Chibi Robo would make sense. And I think it would be a good enough game to kind of throw onto here, even if it's just like a port of the GameCube game. I think it would be an interesting one to throw onto there at the end of the Nintendo Switch's life. Because I mean, Chibi Robo, the first one came out in like what, 2005, 2 years before, or maybe a year before the Wii came out, right?
Yeah.
Wii release date. I can never remember this timeline. Yeah, 2006. So the year before the Wii came out, Chibi Robo came out on GameCube. So why not do that same thing again, but on the Switch? Because we haven't had a new Chibi Robo game since Chibi Robo Ziplash, and that game wasn't that good. It was on 3DS. I got it specifically for the Amiibo.
Oh.
Did I just make Chris sad because that game was bad?
I did not like that game. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I wanted to like it because I love Chibi Robo. I love everything about it, like the walking and just
Had a cool, quirky story too, you know?
right.
Yeah. I miss it.
Well,
I miss it.
It was kind of like, it was like almost like that It Takes Two game. It was like about
I could see that,
like
actually,
a
yeah.
family just falling apart.
Super
until
dark
Chibi
story.
Robo helps them out. Yeah.
That's so funny. They did this. This is where my childhood trauma came from. Oh man. But no, like I don't know what to expect. You know, I kind of gave my top list there of what I would like to see, what I would really like
You
to
mean
see from this Switch One Direct.
This Switch One Direct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any like actual like what you think is going to happen? I've just said what I'd like to see.
Mm.
You've mentioned the playtest.
Yeah, I would like the playtest. Maybe just like give us like GameCube is coming to NSO plus expansion.
I don't know. Did we talk about this last week? We should have if we didn't. But there was rumor that there would be
You
a
were busy.
GameCube. I may have put it in the Nintendo news ticker. I can't fully remember. But there was rumor that there's a GameCube NSO controller coming out because of the way the label.
The trademark. Or
Yeah, the
like
trademark.
The patent. That's what it was. It was like a patent, and like the way it was set up, it's basically another
See if I can find an
NSO
image of it.
controller.
Yeah, I've got an image of it right here. Let me show the people what I'm talking about here. And then we'll go over to that scene real quick. It is this image right here. And it's just a rectangle. The patent image is just a rectangle. This is the patent image overlaid over top of a GameCube controller on the back of it. And more so it's just kind of the label placement, because like in normal Switch circumstances, whenever they have a quote unquote label for all of their copyright information, model number, branding, where it's manufactured, it's typically in the center of the rectangle. But it being offset like this, there's a bunch of people jumping to like full on conclusions that this just lines up so nicely with a GameCube controller. And like, don't get me wrong, I would be absolutely stoked about that. I've won a GameCube on NSO for a long time, and there's a lot of games that are on there. I was just worried that their sales were going to be so good on the few GameCube games they've brought over like that they would not be willing to do it.
Wouldn't be willing to do it? Well, yeah, that would be like in 2 generations, like asking them to bring over Wii U games,
Yeah.
It's just, I don't see them doing that either.
And it's just they can charge a premium for those things,
Right. I mean, they're charging a premium for 3DS remakes.
They are. They absolutely are. They're charging a premium for GBA remakes. Let's be serious.
Any
Mario
remake.
versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But like, I would be very surprised if we saw that. If we saw that, I am more in line, because we know Sakurai is back doing game development. We don't know with whom. We don't know what project or what for, because he ended his YouTube channel, right? He'd already stated that was planned, but he's also mentioned that he is back in game development somewhere. A lot of people can just only assume that the Smash Bros. They're bringing him straight back out of retirement again to do Smash Bros. For the Switch too. And there's a part of me that believes that this is Nintendo having a GameCube controller produced for that, rather than producing adapters that we've been using since the Wii U days. So I think that they're more than likely having that GameCube controller made for Smash stuff that you can also use it with everything else. But that's just my take. It'd be the best of both worlds in a lot of ways. It's the form factor of the actual GameCube controller mixed with the Wavebird features being wireless, because it is confirmed that controller is fully wireless with Bluetooth capability too.
Yes, exactly. So it'll be like the N64 controller you've been using
For that hour and a half that I played Mario 64.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I want what you want. I want that to be NSO.
I want it to be NSO. I would like that rumored Fire Emblem remake that was rumored to be done like last year. It was like a
Which one was that? Yeah, Genealogy of Fire or whatever.
Yeah.
Genealogy of the Holy War. I don't know why I said fire. Genealogy of the Holy War.
I agreed with you.
You did. Look at us being real Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
That was the Super Nintendo one, right? Yeah, Super Nintendo.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
That could be cool. I mean, we haven't had a Fire Emblem game since Engage, and Engage didn't really do too hot with reviewers or fan base. So I don't know. Like, I think that would be cool. So you're saying maybe you would like NSO GameCube. You would like to see Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. Is there anything
the
else?
Switch 1 event.
Yeah, for the Switch 1 Direct.
Now, I would like to see. I want to see games that were not available before available on everything, and this includes stuff like I want Castlevania Symphony of the Night to be on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we can play it on PlayStation, we can play it on Xbox thanks to the Xbox Live Arcade version, but we cannot play it on anything on the Switch, and I would like that to change. I would like that. There are, I think one of the rumors I saw was something that was like kind of like a Bravely Default and Bravely Second bundle that would like kind of remake or remaster Bravely Default 1 and then bring it over to consoles with Bravely Default 2 with it.
That should have happened a
Because-
long time ago.
Well, it just recently, Bravely Second, just recently, I think, came off of the eShop and then went back on. They did that thing where they changed publishers.
Mm-hmm.
So, before Nintendo published it and now Square Enix publishes it. So maybe they got those rights back and now they're just going to try and release it on everything. We'll see.
Mm,
Just silly stuff like that. Or just one thing I want from the Switch 2, we're getting to it, but I want a microphone or some sort of micro.
I think it's on there. I called it out before. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember? A lot of people always wondered on the Switch V1s, there's like this little cutout that kind of looks like a
Yeah.
microphone, and it's just an IR sensor.
Right, yeah. Bravely Second
For
is-
determining on whether or not it needs to auto dim the screen based on your light. No microphone, you
on-
get a mouse.
PC. Yeah.
This is no microphone, you get a mouse. That's what you get instead.
Yeah. You want a microphone? Boom, a mouse.
Yep.
Yeah. What about this Switch 2 event? What do you think we're going to see there?
Well, we have a couple of things. I'm glad that you bring it up because we can go over the bingo card here and already start kind of like marking some things off. Because we know what's happening within this year, right? Like we know we're getting some stuff. Let me find a good a nice X, and then we're gonna make it green on here, make it very Christmassy. But we know we're getting Pokemon Legends Z to A, right? We know we're getting that, which is cool. I'm gonna make this a little more see-through though, so that way people can kind of read it as I mark them off. So we know we're getting Pokemon Legends Z to A, and obviously we know we're gonna get the Switch 2 launching this year. But legitimately, what I think we might see on the Switch 2 during the actual like Switch 2 Direct, I think we will see Mario Kart. I think we will see Metroid Prime 4. And I do think we will see part of me really wants to say we'll see Mina the Hollower.
Mina the Hollower.
Mm-hmm. Yacht Club and Nintendo have always had like a really, really solid relationship. And I think we
Yeah.
could see Mina the Hollower in it. Which is what I'd rather see between Mina the Hollower or Silk Song, honestly.
Huh. Here's what I think.
Mhm.
I want
Splatoon 4.
yeah, I do want Splatoon 4 and ARMS 2.
Arms
then
2 is
there-
never happening as much as we want it.
ARMS 2 is totally happening.
Rest in pepperoni.
Did you see the thing about Insider Gaming report about the Switch 2 releasing in June with a 3-phase strategy approach? With
I
the
did see
first-
that. I did see that. That was the place I saw that was Nintendo Life. They had posted an article stating that it was going to be 3-phase, so it's going to be
Posted it in our chat.
you posted in our chat?
That was 11 o'clock this morning. But-
I got to scroll. Oh, you did. Nintendo Life was where I saw it. So
it's all goes back to the same thing.
So 3-phase software plan. So it's first party games in the first phase, right? Is what they said.
Yeah.
Second phase, third party studio titles.
Primarily first party. So I think like Ubisoft, Capcom, those people probably all have dev kits, but like THQ Nordic doesn't have, or like the indie developers can get theirs once the game comes out because they don't want stuff leaking. So everything is probably on lockdown.
Yeah.
It's probably locked to a desk. You need to sign in if you want to even get close to it.
Mm-hmm. I
think.
just I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm fine with it all just being first party stuff, but I think it'd be weird if that's all we see. So if based on that, do you think we don't see Mina the Hollower or any third party stuff during this direct? And to catch the people up, this is a bingo card that we made right after the Switch 2 CGI reveal trailer. We made a Switch 2 launch year bingo. So what we're going to be seeing, just to kind of go back to this old bingo card and bring it up. We definitely know that Pokemon Legends Z to A is releasing this year. So we're able to kind of mark that off of this. We've got one successful thing on this list so far. Everything else we haven't seen. Well, except new Mario Kart, but we don't know if that's coming this year or next year, you know?
Right, yeah. Hopefully this year for our sake.
Mm-hmm. That way I can rank all 96 courses at Mario Kart 9 or 10 or whatever number they put on it. Mario Kart X.
Yeah.
You don't even know if the Switch 2 is coming this year or not? No, we know it's launching this year. It is launching this year. I would be... So should I just go ahead and mark that off? Like, we don't know that?
What? The
Switch 2 launching this year?
Launches, yeah. What if it's just, they're like, the Switch 2 is coming, but...
January
Switch
2026.
1.5, yeah.
Switch Pro. We're back to that.
Yeah.
March 2026. My God, what a distance to make people wait.
March 3rd, yeah.
Rumor has it that retailers are already getting those. Which welcome in, Mr. Me, again over on the YouTube chat. Don't know if we'll get ZA since we just got a trailer for it. If there has to be some news about it, it could be a release date, but I'm not really sure. I don't think we'll see a release date, an official release date for Pokemon Legends Z to A, in anything Nintendo does.
See anything at that?
Yeah. And then that is more a Pokemon thing more than anything, but we know it's coming this year, so.
Right. They wouldn't put it there. I mean, unless it was like just a trailer that they have already shown, and it might have like 2 new seconds of it, but they're not going to make any announcements because it's big enough they can do it on their own.
Right. On this list of things, I think the stuff that I would be kind of willing to I'll tell you what, let's do a real quick circle. I think we'll get Mina the Hollower, but I don't know that we'll get it at the event. I think I can see it's because it's what the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, so it's not going to be like the showcase, right? It's going to be just the thing on there, right? The way they have it set up. These are the things I think we'll see. I'm gonna put circles on the things I think we'll definitely see this direct. And we might even get release dates for it.
Mario Kart left. Oh no, I think we'll get a 3D Mario.
Oh, you think we'll get a 3D Mario?
They'll show it there,
in this direct. That would be awesome. Yeah. So I've put circles on a few things here. Switch 2 launches, right? They're gonna talk about that for this year on this direct coming up in a week. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, that's going to be featured heavily in this direct, I think. New Mario Kart's going to be featured heavily in this direct. I want Splatoon 4, and I also want the 3D Mario you mentioned. And I also circled a full mouse utilization game. I think where it's only mouse controls, I think they'll showcase that.
Yeah, and it'll be like the Switch 2's version of
Mario
Nintendo
Paint.
Land.
It could be
Nintendo Land too. Do you think there is anything else on this list that we would see on next Wednesday's Direct? No, I think if anything, we could see Kirby and Mario Sports title at this week's event.
Like
with Kirby, Robo-Bobo Bot.
The Switch 1 Direct?
Yeah.
That isn't confirmed nor denied?
Yeah, that one. That's the one where we're gonna see it.
Oh man, that'd be awful.
Yeah.
That'd be awful.
I
No more
know a
Kirby
lot
games on Switch 1, please.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be Robobot.
Netis asks, why would Halo be on there? They stopped making Halo games after ODST. And
I think it was like there was the rumor of
yeah, when we originally made
the
this,
Master Chief Collection is coming to the Switch too.
yeah, it was pretty
And
heavily
Sea of
rumored.
Thieves, I think, as well. Yeah.
And I'm still comfortable leaving those on there with those rumors. Like, yeah, they've died down a little bit, but I think there's a high possibility we see that.
Yeah.
And we could be wrong.
I still think, I don't know that they probably want to show all new things, so they're not going to show AC Shadows. They might show like the new Far Cry game or something, and like show it off there for the first time, even though it's coming to everything, but show it off there to get the Ubisoft support. But I do think AC Shadows with like the expansion pack is going to be day one on Switch.
That would be impressive. That'd be cool. But that goes against their the report of their 3-phase strategy report, right? So if it's day one, I mean, it says primarily first party, which doesn't rule out, some third party support. But that's the case with every console. It's primarily first party when it comes out.
What is it going to be? The N64 all over again?
Right.
Yeah, I think what they want to phase out is just the massive amount of junk that's on the Switch 1 eShop. It's going to be weird if they bring out the Switch 2.
You mean all those Waluigi games, those sexy Waluigi games?
Exactly. You get it. But if all of those games, I just can't even see them releasing. I don't know. It's hard.
I don't think we see any alt color Joy-Con at this first direct for the Switch 2. I don't think we see Halo. I don't think we see a Zelda remaster, remake, or port.
I think Microsoft will be there showing their support. You will see the name of like Microsoft Studio.
Yeah.
Like, how they have that. They love to put that little billboard of like, here's where people work making games for the system.
Yep. I don't think we see Final Fantasy, even though that's been, there's honestly, like, I'm kind of on the fence about that one. There's a possibility we do see Final Fantasy VII remake at this direct. That's kind of the big, like, the game that was teased that they were running on the prototype build that they were showing off behind closed doors, There's a possibility we see that game running on Switch 2 during this direct. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on that one. It's this list is staying the way it is. We made this list and we said we were going to go back to it over the year and see if we win something. We're not going to make any adjustments. But I don't know. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, though, I'm a lot less confident that we'll see it on Switch 2.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a lot less confident about that one.
It'll be on the Switch.
You think it'll be on Switch 1 instead of Switch 2? I think that's what they'll show during tomorrow's or day after tomorrow's
for the Switch 1.
Oh, it was? For what release date?
No, it wasn't announced. It just hold on. What's the name of it?
Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It's already out.
What?
Thought that was already out, wasn't it? No, it's not out.
No, it's not out, but it's coming to Xbox One. They had the
there was a play test.
Apply for the play test.
Yeah, there was a play test. I saw somebody doing.
It's coming to everything. So
Switch,
even
PlayStation.
Xbox One,
okay,
Series X. So I think it will.
We'll maybe get the release. We'll get the release date
2.
for the Switch 1 Direct. We'll get the release date for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds,
and then we'll know when it comes out. Yeah, because if it does come out in June, I think once this game comes out, or after next week, I think the floodgates are going to open and people are going to be like, yeah, this game's coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get asked so many questions.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to go to Capcom and be like, is Monster Hunter coming to the Switch? And they're like, oh, no, not at this time.
Right. Oh, man. Who knows? I don't think I'm going to change anything here. Is there anything on this list you think will happen next Wednesday?
I'm going to live on the edge. Yeah, I think there will be NSO expansion editions.
Okay.
Of some kind.
I
don't know what it'll be, but
put that there. I just don't know if they would talk about that during this direct. I would be really surprised if they would talk about that during this direct.
I don't know that they would, but yeah, it's just a matter of time before.
Seattle Mariners jerseys are getting Nintendo Switch 2 logos put on them.
They're huge.
Right, right. Oh, man. Well, listen, that's kind of where we're landing. These are our predictions for the Switch 2 Direct.
What the calm before the storm.
Yep. We've been waiting for some actual news for the past, oh my god, like I don't know how long at this point. It's been crazy. It's been crazy how long we've been waiting for some actual news, and we get a little bit of a second to breathe. If Thursday comes and goes and there's no Switch 1 Direct, we'll all be sad.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to live because we've got something else to look forward to the following Wednesday. Just another note. Do what?
I was just gonna say, and yeah, don't forget we're not gonna be here next Tuesday night.
Yep. So we're gonna be skipping out on Tuesday night's show. Not really skipping out. We're just gonna be pushing it to Wednesday afternoon. What time is the Nintendo Switch Direct?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Eastern time. Is it? Are you sure? Nintendo Switch Direct. One moment.
Switch 2 Direct. Because if you type Switch Direct, you're gonna see all sorts of stuff on there, because it'll be like all those rumors about the Switch 1 Direct. So you got to type in Switch 2 Direct. But yeah, I think it's 9 a.m. Eastern.
6 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Because people were upset about it being 6 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got to look forward to that. So we'll be Chris and I'll be recording ourselves, and then we'll upload the video on YouTube. We won't be live. You guys will just get a VOD of us like really dissecting that direct and looking at it and watching it live in real time. It'll be a good time. Guess I'm getting up early next Wednesday. Real early. Poop! Yeah. Well, okay.
Brace yourself.
We're going to do it. It's going to be a good time. We don't have a Nintendo Fast Forward segment this episode because...
I mean, the only thing, because they got Bubble Ghost remake, but I do not like the way it looks. Not one bit. But they do have a Care Bears Unlock the Magic, which is the Care Bear game. It's based on the same cartoon that the other game is, and I believe it's even made by it's not made by the same team.
What's the name of the game again?
What? Care Bear Unlock the Magic?
Unlock the Magic.
Right.
Switch. See if I can just pull it up. I'm gonna have to show it for Tenderly. Like, she's out there. She's waiting for us to talk about something. Let's go back over here. Let me turn that on.
It's on Nintendo.com, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a chess game and then like a pogo stick game.
It's just full... Yeah, it's full
Bubble Bobble? Or not Bubble Bobble. Bust a Move?
Yeah, it's almost like...
Flappy Bird?
No, remember... Feel the Magic on the DS? It was like a DS launch title.
Oh, it's kind of funny. It's like Unlock the Magic.
Yeah, Feel the Magic. It was called Project Rub before it came out.
$29.99. Dive into the world of fun and adventure with the Care Bears, and Care Bears Unlock the Magic. Play as Cheer Bear Play as Cheer Bear this is exactly how it's written. and his friends in a variety of arcade games. Meet the beloved bears, play alongside Cheer Bear, Bedtime Bear, Tenderheart Bear, and all the lovely bears from Care-a-Lot. Explore over 200 levels across dozen unique minigames in the whimsical universe of Care Bears. Get star power to remove the storm clouds from the silver lining, meet the funny Whiffles, and reach the end of the magical rope for a lovely surprise. $29.99. That's $30 for that?
What for
For
the what?
For all those mini games. It's $30 for Care Bears Unlock the Magic. Holy crap. Launches on the 27th. And there's not even a sell for it. $20.99. They couldn't. $29.99, and they couldn't even bother to proofread their store listing. That is the truth. Chris, where can they find you? Where can they find you, friend?
Super Nintendo on pretty much everything. How about you?
You can find me over at Nerdwire Plays most of the time. Twitch.tv/Nerdwire Plays. And it's where I post most of my stuff. That's where I'm live most every night. And then Threads, Nerdwire Plays. That's where I post about comic books, because I don't talk about Nintendo games on there. I just only talk about comic books. But it's a good time. Come hang out.
I forgot about Daredevil. I gotta go watch Daredevil.
Yeah, that's why we're wrapping up the show. We're gonna go watch some Daredevil. Premiered at 9 p.m. and we're running late to it. You can go check out our socials over on Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We can, and that's gonna be crazy, isn't it? That's gonna be so weird. I'll probably actually just be live on my own channel next week all the way through it. Be my first day of No Mario.
There's 2 episodes on there tonight.
What? There's 2 episodes of Daredevil tonight?
Yeah, 5 and 6.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe a mistake. I'm gonna watch them.
Yep, we're gonna watch them both. Anyway, come back, hang out with us every Tuesday except for next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Every Tuesday, but that one.
Yep, every Tuesday but that one. And we'll be live, or not? We'll be live again in 2 weeks, but you guys will have a full episode next Wednesday over on the YouTube channel. Either way, so
yeah.
Love your faces.
Indeed.
We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good night. Remember, be kind. Please rewind. Bye.
Toodaloo.